pass this over to Catherine Hatcher because we've got a good segment here. I'm ready for this one. Catherine Hatcher with PersonaSID.com, and I'm going to turn it over to you, Catherine, so that you can talk about John and take it away.
Thank you very much, Kathy. Well, today I have John Lymberopoulos with me, and before I go into that, I want to talk about why we have him here with us today. As you all know, I'm an image communications expert, which means that I deal with how we communicate with our image, and there are so many ways that we can communicate, and the largest part of that communication comes from our appearance. And while Jeff said never judge a book by its cover, I'm finding, and I'm sure John does too, that many people do judge a book by its cover. And so when I'm working with clients, and we'll talk about how John works with his clients, I find that we have to think about what kind of cover we are presenting and what kind of image perceptions people are having of us. Because like it or not, well, wrong or right, people do judge us based on what they see, and 55% of our message does come from how people perceive us based on what they see. And that comes from a study by Albert Moravian, who conducted that study at UCLA. So what he found was that when studying people, people make judgments based on what they see. And 65% of people are visuals. And so when you look at a body, when we look at ourselves, 85 to 90% of us are covered by clothing. And I always say, well, why not use that clothing to communicate for us? So at least it used to be 85 to 90% was covered by clothing. Nowadays, I wonder, and especially in the summertime in Texas, it's probably only 50% of the body is covered by clothing. But my point is that we can use our clothing to communicate for us. So I want to tell you a little bit about John. John is the managing director and founder at Bespoke Advisors. He's also a managing partner for J. Hilbernman's Custom Clothier. He has had a diverse career over the past 22 years with senior management experience in sales and marketing within the fashion, healthcare, technology, and hospitality industries. Bespoke Advisors' mission is to work with clients to inspire them to do the things that inspire them. This includes ensuring they exceed the high expectations they are capable of achieving. While he strongly believes that image means everything, John maintains a core belief that your image is developed from the inside out and is honed through knowledge, experience, and a desire for success. And he believes that solid relationships are absolutely essential to personal and professional achievement. He is certified with the Fashion Institute International and is a member of the International Association of Image Consultants. Help me welcome John Lymberopoulos.
Well, thank you, Catherine. It's a pleasure to be here with you today.
I'm glad you're here with us today, and you are a colleague of mine. We operate in the same circles, and I thought it would be great to interview someone who does what I do for a different perspective on image. And mainly, you know, we talk a lot about women's fashion here on the show, and I thought, you know, it'd be great to talk to someone about men. I don't know if any of you men have felt left out, but we're here to include you now today.
Men wear clothes too, you know.
Well, unfortunately, that's the truth. Yeah, more fortunately, I don't know how
Goodness
you look at it.
sakes, yeah.
Now, let's talk about men's fashion. To me, if I were a guy, I'd be totally bored. Women have all these opportunities to express ourselves, and men's fashion to me could be somewhat boring. So tell me, over the last 10 to 15 years, how has men's fashions changed?
Well, it's really changed quite dramatically from a macro approach. And really what I mean by that, if you go back about 10 to 15 years, we were still in a time where gentlemen would wear suits, ties, wingtip shoes, that type of thing, the trench coat. We got into the latter part of the 90s, and as the dot-com era came into existence, we got into a very business casual approach. It first started really with, on the Fridays, instead of wearing a suit, you wore a blazer and a tie, and then we casualed it to just the blazer, and then we went down to the shirt and the trousers. But as the dot-com era continued, it seemed like everything got so relaxed, and a lot of it was part of the economy, with there's so much technology and developers and those type of things. Having to be in a suit wasn't necessarily an appropriate dress for an office because you're programming and coding all day. I think you still had folks that were out in the field that were dressing more business formal. But we got to a point where we became just absolutely too casual. And I think over the last couple of years, and certainly in the past with the economy we've had in the last year and a half, things are becoming a bit more formalized. They're becoming a bit more formalized.
Oh
in
no!
business dress.
I was hoping that they would have some pity on us.
No, it's actually, well, think about it this way. When you have the rate of unemployment that we have today, and you have so many people seeking job opportunities and so few jobs, I mean, how are you going to stand out and be differently? One of those ways is by your look and your image and how you present yourself in front of recruiting or clients or whatever the case might be. So that swing back to formality is coming for gentlemen in business dress.
Well, and I read a study too that said that there has been an increase in decrease in productivity, also an increase in tardyism, and that people, when they're dressed a little more relaxed, seem to operate a little more relaxed. Would you say that's true?
I definitely say that's true. I think it's true in the professional sense of what we do. I mean, think about it. When we are dressed for a presentation or for a key client visit or whatever that case might be, and we put on our proverbial Sunday best, that is where we feel the most confident and the best about what we're doing. Like you, I have several clients that work out of their home, and I even consult with them at that point and say, you know, working out of your home is great. It's part of the way we do business today, but get up, get dressed, and I encourage the gentleman clients that I have at least a pair of khakis or trousers and a golf shirt or a button-down shirt. This trying to work out of your home office in your boxer shorts and a Yosemite Sam T-shirt that says "back off," you're going to be about that productive as you work and move forward. So it definitely plays a role.
Right. So what are the key changes and transitions that you've seen in men's fashions, would you say?
Well, I think the key transition that we saw several years ago was that of becoming too casual. And I think that when you become too casual, you are not taken as serious in what you do. What's happening today is that there is the return back to what I would call business formal. And business formal is really going to be more defined by looks where you have a suit, maybe open collar, or maybe with a tie. But you're going to see a drawing closer of what business casual is and what business formal is. To the point that I believe business casual, the least you will see is trousers, button-down shirt, and a blazer. At least that's what I hope that you will see. And the most that we will see is back to that that day of, you know, maybe the way our fathers dressed and things like that, where you have that 9 to 5 suit that you're wearing on a regular basis.
Well, and even in business.